What's going on, guys? Balkan Architect here, and in today's video we're doing something just a little bit different, and that is I'm going to be showing you kind of step by step creating a simple, modern and elegant house in Revit. I thought this would be fun. I have people asking me and sending me like images of cool looking houses, modern designs, and just saying, can you create a video where you model this? And in today's video, I'm going to be doing exactly that. I'm just going to be modeling that kind of step by step. It's going to be fairly simple. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want this video to take forever, but I'm just going to be showing you my approach and how I work when I get an idea and when I want to design something. So for the design, I've seen this image. I thought it looks really cool. It's like a sketch of this like really cool, simple, modern, minimalistic house, and I thought, well, that's cool. That's something that's interesting. It has that, I think that's like a chimney, which I really like, that kind of follows and goes through the building. I like that. I like fireplaces, chimneys, things like that. I think it looks cool. So that's what we're doing in today's video. Now, if you're serious about learning Revit and if you want to kind of take it to the next level, I would like to ask you to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com. It's going to be the first link just below this video in the description, and then also up in the cards above. There you can find all of my Revit courses. I've got over 120 hours of content, and there is actually where I take my time and go slowly step by step and explain all of the Revit's complex and advanced topics. Also there you can find my Revit templates, and I have recently added some families as well. So if you want some really high quality Revit families, those are also there on the website. Okay, so without any further ado, let's jump straight into Revit. Now here I am in Revit, and I'm just going to be starting a new project. Now for the template file, as I said, I have some templates on my website. I'm just going to be using my architecture design template. Click OK here, and now let's let Revit start right up. Now with this template, I already have the materials kind of set to white. That's why I like using it. And here let's go into level 1. This is just the starting screen, so let's get rid of that. And then let's set up the levels first. That's something that I like to do first. So I'm just going to open up the south elevation here, go to level 2, and I'm just going to drop it down to 300 centimeters. Now I want to add an additional level, so let's go here to levels. LL is the shortcut, and then let's add one level there. Perfect. Hit the escape key a couple of times. There we go. Okay, so the next step is just to start modeling the house. So my approach in Revit is to, well, do Revit, which means revise and edit. You throw some elements on the screen and then you revise them, you edit them, and you add complexity and detail. That's basically the approach. So I'm just going to go here into level 1. So I just want to kind of outline the house. So I'm going to go here to the wall tool. For the wall, let me pick out the exterior wall here that we have, so let's go with that one. And then it's going to be kind of an L-shaped house, so let's go like this perhaps. Yeah, something like that. Hit the escape key a couple of times, perhaps center it a little bit better. There we go. So for the width here, I'm going to go with something like, I don't know, like 4.5 meters, which is 450 centimeters. I forgot it was in centimeters. This whole thing, this can be, I don't know, this can be 5 meters. Okay, 500 millimeters. Yeah, there we go. And for the length here, for the entire thing, yeah, that works. Perhaps extend it just a little bit further. Perfect. Okay, so now as you've seen in that image, so here I have the image on my second screen, so I can see it. Here we have this big kind of, I think this is a chimney for the fireplace. I'm not 100% sure, but I really like it, so I'm going to be modeling that next. And it looks really interesting. Here you can see it, if I zoom in enough, you can see it kind of where it appears here on the facade next to the windows, so we want to kind of replicate that, so that's what we're going to be doing. So let's zoom out. There we go. So let's now do that. So I'm going to go to the wall tool for this. Let's use a rectangle, and then let's make it, I don't know, I'm going to make it to 170 perhaps by something small like this. I don't want it to be too big. I mean, this is already enormous. And then let me measure here. So this is 300, and yeah, let's make it a little bit more towards the inside. Yeah, like that. And finally, you may have seen that this is kind of biting the facade a little bit. So let's go into the facade like this. It's going to ask you, should it join this? Not for now. Okay, also you should check the height of these walls. So this one only goes up to level 2, and actually I'm going to make it unconnected and go all the way to 800 centimeters. And then for the rest of these walls, I want them to go up to level 3, because that's where our kind of, that's the roof level in this case over here. Okay, so once we have that, let's open up the 3D view. It's always good to see what's going on. There we go, looks fairly good. Now this wall, I'm going to be getting rid of that, and this one as well, because I'm going to be replacing it with a curtain wall later on. For now, also, let's select these walls, and let's make sure that they start, okay, base constraint, that they start at the level 2. Okay, so we have that, and then here, even though in this image you can see that this is made out of glass, same thing goes here, I don't want it to be out of glass all the way out, perhaps a little bit, and then we can have like a balcony which has that house above it. I think that would look cool. So what I'm going to do here is simply select this wall here, go into Edit Profile, add a line like this, and then let's move it a little bit towards the outside. Let's move it by, I don't know, 120. That's okay. And then also use pick lines, pick the bottom here, and then you just use trim and extend to corner, fix it all up, hit finish. There we go. So now it's kind of starting to take shape. Also, this whole thing shouldn't go all the way to the top, at least not all the way. So what I'm going to do here is just go to Edit Profile, go to Pick Lines, pick this line here, pick the bottom here, if I can only find it. There we go. And then again, trim and extend to corner, fix it up like this, and you hit finish. And then you can extend this all the way, if I can only manage that. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now it's taking shape even more. Okay, so once we have this, the next step perhaps would be to add the floors. So to add the floors, let's go to level, let's start with level 1. So here in this case you can see that we can see what's above the walls, and that's because here in the properties you can see that my underlay has been set to level 2. If it's set to none, we wouldn't see that. So make sure to set that to level 2. Just so you can see that what's going on above, and it's especially good in situations such as this one that we have here. So what I want to do here is just go to the floor tool, and let's use for the bottom, I'm just going to use concrete for this floor. We can pick the walls here, just like that. Maybe go like this, and then in this case we just want to have this whole thing, which is 4.5 meters, something like that. Perhaps make it a little bit larger. Yeah, like this. Okay, and then now that I think about it, let's extend it actually here. Let's add a little bit of room here, and also I'm going to extend this out a little bit. Perfect. So it's a lot of back and forth. I mean, you're talking about design, so it's obviously going to have a lot of back and forth. There we go. This is what this looks like right now. Let's do the one above. So that's level 2 here. Zoom in. And then for level 2, let's use the floor again. Now in this case, I'm just going to kind of follow that inner boundary of the wall. And here, because it's going to be on the outside, let's just follow it like that. And this is basically going to determine the room below. So let's make it, yeah, let's make it like that. And now finally, let's use trim and extend to trim and extend this to corner here, and go to the 3D view. Looks good. Hit finish. No, let's not attach anything at the moment. And something that I find a little bit annoying is when you have floors like this, as you can see, it kind of shows. So I like to select that floor, go here into the properties, and here we can see the thickness, which is 20 centimeters. And I'm just going to use that information now, select these two, and then go to my properties, go to base offset, and set it to -20. Hit finish. And as you can see now, that is covering that part. This one has been done by boundary, so you have to change the boundary, but that's easy. So there we go. This is starting to kind of take shape. And then finally for the roof is very straightforward. You just go on level 3. Now here it doesn't show the walls below, so to see them you have to go to the properties panel, scroll down to view range, go into edit, and then here in the view range you just want to set the bottom to unlimited as well as view depth, hit apply. Okay, perfect. And now here let's add the roof. So for the roof, let's go to roof. Yeah, let's use this one, do the rectangle thingy. Yeah, let's actually follow the lines of the wall. Let's be a responsible architect here. Okay, there we go. Also select the whole thing, uncheck defines slope, hit finish. I do not want to attach. There we go. Go to the 3D view. Now this is going to go above the room and it's 40 centimeters. So I'm just going to drop it by -40. So it's kind of flush, and then I'm just going to bring the walls up. So let's select the walls. Let's hope this works. Top offset, yeah, let's go with 20. I think it's enough. Yeah, there we go. Did it mess everything up? Yeah, obviously it did. So let's go back here, drop this down. Okay, so now we have that roof going on over here. We have the floors, so now let's start adding the curtain walls. So we want curtain walls here on the bottom, and then also we want some, if I drag this over, as you can see these are obviously going to be modeled as curtain walls. So let's go now to level 1. Okay, so here in level 1, go to wall, find curtain wall, there we go, and then let's just start from here, hit the space key to flip it to the other side, go to here, stop at the fireplace, go then from there, flip it to the outside, and then here you're just kind of following that roof above. Why isn't it showing me? Oh, I want the storefront. Why didn't I choose that in the first place? I don't know. So yeah, let's switch to storefront. There we go. Much better. Now for these, let's select all of them. Go to attach top base, attach it to this, delete the elements. Yeah, now it looks good. Okay, didn't replace this one. Okay, storefront, attach top base. Perfect. What? Okay, that's odd. So I'm just going to drop it down and not think about it. And then finally, let's select this and drag it out. So if it gives you errors like this, just double check that everything is correct here. I mean, it seems to be. Yeah, I think it should be correct. There we go. Okay, so it's looking good already, and as I've mentioned before, at this point I usually don't think about precision too much, just because the design changes so much, and this kind of this is like 3D sketching for me. So this is like playing around in SketchUp or something like that. So I don't tend to be overly precise, just because I know it's going to change so many times. So just don't leave angry comments, please. Okay, moving forward. Here, now that I think about it, I should probably edit the boundary of this thing to kind of cover that upper portion of the wall. So let's just trim and extend it like, oops, not that. The other way around. Yeah, like that. Okay, now when I hit finish, don't attach for now. No. Okay, so now I can just select this one and just drag this down to the bottom. I don't know. I think it just looks a little bit better, this kind of surface here. Okay, now it's time for the curtain walls above. Now for that, what you want to do is go here to level 2, obviously. Go to wall, curtain wall, storefront. You want to go from level 2 to level 3, but with some offsets. So the base offset is going to be something like 0.4. And then the top offset is going to be like minus, or not 0.4, this is centimeters. Sorry, so that's 40 centimeters, and then this is going to be like minus, I don't know, like 60 or even 70. Okay, like that. Then you just kind of drag it over, hit the space key to flip it. Yeah, perfect. Go from there to here. Here we can go, I don't know, like that. Hit the escape key. Now in this case, I just want to get rid of the offset on the base, just because this one is going to be on that balcony, so that's okay. Maybe make it a bit shorter. Yeah, just like that. Okay, so having done this, let's go back into the 3D view and we can just check here what that looks like, and it looks really, really good. So let's then move forward. So here I have this, if I just drag this back, oops, not that, but the image, where's the image? There's the image. Okay, so with the image, you can see that here we can see that kind of chimney or whatever this is, we can see that on the facade. So I just want to go back here and select the wall. And then for the wall, I want to go to edit profile, and then I'm just going to make an opening here. So just a simple rectangle should do. Yeah, there we go. Finish. And as you can see, it kind of exposes that wall, and I like that. I want that. So we have done that. So it's starting to look really, really good. So having done this, perhaps we can add just some railing here on top. So for that, let's go, that's level 2. Let's go to railing. Now this has like this pipe railing, so that's what we're going to be using. So pipe. Let's use a rectangle here, like that. Okay, then get rid of this, hit finish, go to the 3D view. Yeah, that's looking really, really good. It's looking really similar to the image that we have there. Here we can add some sort of like a vertical window. So let's go to level 2, zoom into this place, go to window. Let's see what we have here. So here I have all of my kind of windows, and I have this adjustable window. Now this is a family that comes with my template, and it's designed to be used in situations where you have like just an oddly sized window, so you don't have to kind of readjust the parameters of your existing windows. So you just place this here like that, and as you can see, it can just be stretched out as far as it has to be. So now I can go to the 3D view, and then here if I just open up, this should be, is this west elevation? Yes, it is. So here I can just stretch it out and have that like really tall window, which I want to have. Just like that, go to the 3D view. Yeah, perfect. Or maybe, so maybe a good idea would be just to follow this. So that's 40 on the bottom, and then on the top it's going to be, is it like 70? Oh, it's resizing itself. That's annoying. So let's go back to the west elevation, and then here, okay, what I'm going to do here, just because it's going to make it a bit easier, go into wireframe, and now I can see this window here, see where it is. So I can just set this one up to 40, and then the top I can just kind of try to eyeball, or even better, you can add like a reference plane from here to there and use that as reference. Perfect. And then we can just get rid of it. Okay, that looks really nice. I like the window there. Now let's switch this. Okay, let's change. Yeah, this is concrete. Yeah, let's leave it at concrete. Okay, now let's see what would this look like if we introduce some materials. So I'm just going to switch this to realistic, and as you can see, it's just white because that's what I set it by default. just because I think it's really elegant to work like this. And then obviously you can assign your own materials. So what I'm going to do in this particular situation is just select this set of walls, go into edit type, and let's duplicate this one, and let's call it the fireplace wall. Is this one word or two? I don't know. My English isn't perfect. Okay, so let's go here to edit assembly, and here just for the finished material I'm going to change that to stone. And here, or actually let's go here to stone. We have this limestone which I really like, so I'm going to load that in. But for this limestone, it's just a bit too small. So what I like to do is just expand this. So go to edit image and just change this from like 50 centimeters to like 200. And it looks so much better. So let's click OK, OK, OK. There we go. See how it just adds so much depth to this, and just the design with that little contrast looks really good. Also you can play around, perhaps add some concrete. So let's say that these walls are all concrete, so you can go into edit type, edit, yeah, let's just change the finish material. Let's see what we have here. In terms of appearance, it's really hard to find like good concrete here in Revit. This is just masonry. I like the cast in place ones. Just speaking about like the texture, I think that these have like a good texture image. What else do we have? Like formed. Oh, this looks cool. Broom finish? No, formed. What is this? Okay, that's terrible. No, let's go back to formed. Yeah, I love this one. So let's load that one in. I have never seen this material. That's weird. So let's click OK, apply that. Okay, apply. Okay, okay, okay. And do we see that? Oh, it's on the wrong side, so I have to flip my walls. That's annoying. So let's flip these. Okay, go back to the 3D view. Yeah, this looks really good. So there you go. That's basically how I would approach modeling something like this. Now, obviously, you can add to this design, and I would like to encourage you to try this out, try to model this, and perhaps make it a little bit different, personalize it a little bit. Obviously, this is just the first step. As I said, I'm just creating a sketch here, so it's more of a sketch than an actual model. And then once you're happy with the way it looks, then you take it from there and you kind of add to that and so on. So I really like the way it turned out. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. And obviously I'll be back soon with another tutorial. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com, for more Revit courses. There I have over 120 hours of content, and I'm adding more each week. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and also I've added a video over there that might interest you as well.